We began the process of this project by doing some research to gain a better understanding of food security and food sovereignty within the context of our communities. Upon conducting our research, we found that food insecurity is a very pressing issue in Nova Scotia, with an estimated 30% of students in Nova Scotia suffering from some form of food insecurity and almost 213,000 Nova Scotians. We then created a systems map of the various stakeholders involved in our project. We divided them into three subgroups: students, immediate community, and larger society, and identified the various stakeholders within each category. This is around the time we realized how big and complex the issue of food insecurity really is, so we began the process of collecting data to figure out what students really needed the most. We conducted a series of interviews at the various levels of stakeholders, and from the information we gathered, four key themes stood out, which were affordability, lack of nutritious food, accessibility to healthy food, and the stigma around getting help. Using these themes, we got to work on the prototyping process. This is when we came up with the idea for WeGrow NSCC. We wanted to dedicate our efforts to providing students with fresh produce across our three campuses. We would be using innovative grow methods like hydroponic systems and constructing distribution and information hubs that resembled farm stands.
Prototypes and testing. Our first prototype was a farm stand on campus to give away free produce. The initial test went well, with close to 80 students from the combined campuses receiving produce from our group. Here's what one student had to say about our farm
This is
stand.
an excellent way to combat food insecurity on campus. We do have other projects going on, but we don't have the fresh vegetables. We don't have an abundance of fresh fruit. And when I first saw this set up in the hall, I was so excited to see it, and the excitement was shared among other students as well.
Further prototype testing, however, revealed that only at Burge campus in Yarmouth was there a continued interest in the farm stand, with Digby and Shelburne pivoting towards offering subsidized meals at their campuses. Our second prototype was our hydroponic systems, which went from looking like this to this, and are still going strong and doing well on our campuses.
A huge part of our project was the collaborations and networking we engaged in. During our time with Nova Nourishment, we got the opportunity to work with various stakeholders and with a few other food initiatives on and around our campuses that were tackling food insecurity. We were very fortunate to receive a generous external donation to fund the farm stand at Burridge for a number of weeks. We also worked with two amazing people from the Digby Learning Center to learn about the grow towers and keeping them running and maintained. At the campuses that have cafeterias, the staff were very supportive and a huge help during the early stages of prototyping. We also worked with the student associations at all three of the campuses, all of whom were very receptive to our project and a huge help.
Our plans for the future. Our recommendations for the future is threefold, to reflect the fact that we are three different campuses with three different student bodies. At Shelburne campus, we want to keep looking for donations for subsidized meals, as that seems to be the most beneficial to the students. At Digby Learning Center, we would want to work with the Student Association and provide hot meals to the students. The farm stand achieved its greatest success at the Burge campus, and we would like to see this success continue at that location. Being spread out across three locations was our biggest struggle and yet our greatest advantage. Being at three different locations was sometimes hard to manage, but we were able to reach so many more students than at one location alone. And thank you to Noah Nourishment and all who were a part of it for giving us this opportunity and making this all possible.